What is up, Itrad Fantasy? We are back with another Itrad Fantasy 2022 episode. We got a lot to talk about today. A lot changed, a lot stayed the same. Some interesting things have been happening in the NFL. Some injuries. Really good games going on. Really bad games. Everything here and there and in between. But let's get right into it with our. Oh, forgot to introduce everybody. Sorry. With us today, we have my co-host, Suck My Dicka, aka the Commish, Eddie Hernandez. We also have from last episode, the owner of Lamar and the Pandas. I don't know where he's at right now, Sonny Pita. Um, Also, two new guests on today's episode. Guy has his camera off for some reason, but the owner of the New Jersey Sopranos guy is here, and then we also have the owner of the Red Hot Cardiac Kids, Julian Freeman, with us today.
Boo.
So we're gonna get right into our power rankings here. I'll start it off. Me and Guy are gonna be doing them this week with my number 11 pick. What I have as the worst team in the league right now. You wish, Wilson, you wish your team was good because your team stinks. So when you look at Wilson's team here, you just don't really have a lot of pretty things to look at. It's kind of like when you're out at the bar and it's like late at night and it's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning and all the ugly fat girls are left. That's like what you're looking at when you look at Wilson's team here. This is a guy who struggled heavily in 3 out of 5 weeks to reach 100 points. Luckily for him, he hit 110 this week. It took like fucking two 70-yard Devontae Adams touchdowns to do so. But anyway, his QB is Derek Carr. Dak Prescott when he comes back. Dak Prescott, I don't honestly even remember how Dak Prescott looked week one. If he even looked that impressive. Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders, you guys, RB1, RB2. Personally, in my opinion, Bengals are frauds. They're not what everyone thought the fantasy haven they thought they would be coming into this season. I personally. What do you say?
Like Ed thought they were.
Like a lot of people thought. But this is a team IRL that could be 0-5. They like kind of won against the Jets late with a bullshit roughing the passer call, I think it was. My Dolphins would have easily beat them if Tua never got hurt. Then you have Joe Mixon is the lead back who we saw a lot of Samaje Perine in that game on Sunday night. Joe Mixon's just not the first round pick. Wilson thought he'd be penning out for him. And Miles Sanders is a guy like who just doesn't have any receiving upside. And as we saw this week, like if he's not playing the Jaguars and not getting 30 carries in a game, he's just not gonna look that good. He's got Jerry Jeudy, who is in an offense that everyone thought was going to be great, but it hasn't really looked that good, and he's just not the wide receiver to have in that offense. His quarterback, Russell Wilson, just apparently has been playing with a torn labrum or shoulder or whatever. Delt, yeah. And so it's just, I don't see a lot going on for Jerry Jeudy this year. The Broncos couldn't even score a touchdown versus the Colts at home on Thursday Night Football. Jacoby Myers, I guess, looks good. Not really the offense I would want my wide receiver 2 to be in. Tyler Higbee, he's been looking good. Good pickup there. Bright spot, ETN does look like he might be getting a little bit more involved in this offense. James Robinson's starting to get phased out a little bit. And Devontae Adams, while he looks great, he only had 3 catches last night, which is like on a day where he doesn't have 2 70-yard touchdowns, he's getting you like 6 points. So his bench really isn't that deep. Zeke's fat and sucks. There's not really a lot going on there in New Wish land over there.
Wait, how many catches did Adams have?
Pretty sure he had 3 catches for like 100.
Catches?
Yeah, 3 catches, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. Guy, who do you have at your number 11 spot?
Yeah, I also have You Wish. Obviously this team is at the bottom of the league. He's got Devontae. He has Joe Mixon, who's a solid running back one, but there's just not much going on here. Juju's been a disappointment. And he was somebody that I thought might be a really great like flex option in Kansas City, but yeah, there's not a lot going on here, and it shows with his position right now.
Yeah. Who do you have at your number 10 spot?
Number 10. So I have Mike at number 10. That's right. This is from the beginning, I had a lot of thoughts on this team that it's just not. I don't know. There's just not a lot going on there, in my opinion. He's extremely weak at running back. His bench there's nothing on his bench. He's made a lot of trades so far early into the season relatively, but this is a team. I don't know. I just don't know what the outlook is for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I also have the Satrialis here at number 10. In my opinion, I mean, I told him Kyler Murray sucks.
I guess.
His running backs, Kenneth Walker, J.K. Dobbins, Antonio Gibson. Swift is hurt. I don't know what the timetable is on Swift's return. But J.K. Dobbins, I just don't think he's it this year. I can't see him getting like that big workload coming off of that injury. I think they're just gonna kind of have him slowly get back to 100% as the season goes on. Got lucky against the Bills. He got the ball at the 2-yard line like twice and fell into the end zone because Josh Allen had a bad turnover. Penny just broke his fibula, rip to him. So Kenneth Walker, I don't know what to think of Kenneth Walker going forward. I just don't know if the Seahawks are going to be a team that's going to be up a lot to really get him those 20.
I'm big on Kenneth Walker personally. I think that's probably his lone bright spot in his team right now. Luckily, you got him from Ed.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna get. There's gonna be absolutely no competition for him in that backfield. He's gonna get fed. Trust me.
All right, I'll trust you on that one, Bill. Then you look at his wide receivers. Deontay Johnson has a horrible quarterback and a horrible offense. Jalen Waddle, I love Jalen Waddle, but I just don't think without Tua he's really going to be putting up the numbers we saw in the first 3 weeks. CeeDee Lamb, I still like CeeDee Lamb. I guess when Dak comes back, maybe he'll be even better. I think CeeDee is his best player right now, probably. And then, like Guy said, there's just not a lot going on his bench either. So we just got to hope to, I guess, win a game or two until Swift comes back, to stay alive. But moving on to our number 9 spot. Number 9, I have the New Jersey Sopranos. Now, while he is at number 9, maybe if his team gets to 100% health, Guy could be a sneaky 7 or 8 seed. I feel like it's going to be definitely possible because I feel like a lot of these teams that are kind of at the mid pack right now are going to start sliding down those rankings.
I agree.
He's pretty set at running back. Your running back's really strong. You got Lenny, Stevenson, who's looked good, and Henry. So, I mean, you're set there. It's just your wide receivers have been a little bit underwhelming so far to start the season.
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks, even though he is the guy, I guess, in that wide receiver room, it's just his quarterback's Davis Mills. They couldn't put up really a lot versus the Jaguars. Keenan and Godwin are just both have sore pussies, so it's what are you gonna really do there? Are you gonna start Michael Carter in your flex this week? Because I think Michael Carter sucks.
Well, that might be my only option this week, and he did have 2 touchdowns last week. So I feel like.
Oh, did you see the touchdown you got?
Yeah, I know they were just goal line touches, but
Brees Hall got tackled at the inch line on 60-plus yard runs twice. Is that what you're looking to get?
Yeah. Brees Hall had a great game, but how many games is he gonna just absolutely go off like that for?
Well, every one going forward, every single one.
Yeah, he's the number one. Sure. You just need a guy in there this week that makes sense. But
what's the plan? Allen inevitably misses again this week. Do we have a backup plan?
That's if he does. He's got to come back.
Okay.
My comments on Guy's team is I think he probably has, honestly, one of the better running back situations out of all the teams. But the wide receivers just are so bad that it kind of drags you down.
Why stop at the wide receivers?
That's fair.
That's fair. What else is good other than Lenny?
Well, his quarterback kind of got, even though he overpaid for it, he's got that figured out. I would say pass catchers, so receivers and tight ends, obviously you're struggling there.
You should trade one of your running backs to get.
Yeah, I like your running back. Those are your worst running back, or the worst out of those three would probably be a lot of teams' best running back.
I agree with that. That's why I'm trying to possibly make a move here with Stevenson. But this is a guy that is a very, very solid running back too. So I would like a little bit of compensation there. But
Stevenson is special. You got him, you hang on to him, and you flex him.
Yeah, he's good. You
don't give him
definitely want him there.
Yeah,
and you're lucky with what's going on with Harris right now. He's gonna get the full workload. He'll probably be 20 points a week guy.
Easy.
Yeah, I
get
agree.
Catches and shit.
I do like him a lot.
Who do you have at that guy?
Kind of a magical night, magical game with a fucking 11 catches, but he's still solid.
So, funnily enough, I actually have you at number 9, Justin. So, and
that's horrible.
And really. Well, the reason that is,
dude, I'm number 4, and I'm number 4.
No, let him go. Let's hear what he has to say.
The reason that is I think that is strictly for this week. Okay, not in the grand scheme of things, because you just had Nick, who we may go into this later, but made a trade that could possibly drastically affect his season. You have Kevin, who was involved in that trade that improved his team. And then, I think there are a couple of teams that have more well-rounded teams. I don't think your team is horrible. Obviously you have Cooper Kupp, who's a 30-point a week guy plus. Devontae Smith, who's been pretty solid. You got James Conner on your bench. So your running backs aren't ideal, but like you said, Brees Hall is probably going to start picking up after this week. He went off, so I think you definitely have some solid pieces on this team. I could see you making the playoffs for sure. But Jalen Hurts, of course, too, who's going off right now.
So if you had to highlight the parts of his team holding him back, what parts are you looking at?
I think you have a misunderstanding what a power ranking is, to be honest.
Does seem like that as well.
How do you mean? I just explained it, though. I think there are a couple teams above you, and I still think Nick, his team isn't horrible after this trade. He did get fleeced, but
that's fine.
Nick,
highlight some weak spots on his team.
Okay, I was going into that.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I think running back is not the best situation here for Justin. Melvin Gordon is okay. Brees Hall, like I said, that's kind of I don't know if you can rely on that every week to get 15 plus personally.
He's done it every week.
Kyle Pitts at your tight end.
Yeah, Brees Hall's probably been one of the more consistent backs in fantasy right now. He's always had over 12, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm number 4 in points.
Damn, I was not aware of that.
I'll take.
Yeah, I guess this is an I'll take, but
I I mean,
For
it
the
did
eye test,
little
it's
bit
not passing the eye test.
No.
take him a little bit to blow up like he did, but he's been consistent.
Okay, Joel. Okay.
All right, we're gonna move on to number 8.
All right.
Have the Diego Juniors at number 8. This is one of the teams I feel like is going down right now.
Look at Joel.
He's spiteful towards him, isn't he? Look at him.
He just lost Javonte Williams for the season. This guy is starting. Yes, this is real. Starting Kenny Pickett versus Tampa Bay at quarterback.
Wait, what?
Jared Goff is on bye this week. He has either Russell Wilson or Kenny Pickett. Maybe he's trolling. I don't know if he's trolling, but he has Kenny Pickett as his starting quarterback right now. The guy who played 4 quarters of garbage time football and could only score a field goal for his team. Yeah, you want to say it was Buffalo defense. They're playing Tampa Bay this week. So he's got Najee Harris against Tampa Bay defense this week. That is the number 1 or 2 ranked run defense in the league. I mean, you saw what the Bills did to Najee. I think we're just going to see another fucking episode of what happened last week to the Steelers this week. Devin Singletary at RB2. I mean, Singletary has a shot. Like, he could get you double-digit points if he's the back in that game script. I wouldn't say he's really trustworthy. He's got Michael Pittman Jr. at wide receiver 1. Michael Pittman Jr. unfortunately has like one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league. Matt Ryan's just a statue in the pocket, and the Colts just suck, to be honest with you. They didn't score a touchdown either Thursday night. He's got Mike Williams finally starting in his lineup. Finally, Mike Williams starting after putting up like fucking 50 points in the past 2 weeks combined. I don't really know what to expect for Mike Williams if Keenan Allen comes back this week, but if Keenan Allen is out again, I think it'll be another good game for Mike Williams. So he's got a bright spot there. Hayden Hurst at tight end. I don't hate it. He's been pretty good lately. Marquise Brown is on his last great week of fantasy this week. DeAndre Hopkins comes back after this week. I mean, for me personally, I just don't think he's going to be putting up 20 a week like he has been once D-Hop comes back. I think he's just going to be a flex play from that point on. He's got 49ers D. Been pretty good so far. Amon-Ra on his bench. Other than Amon-Ra and I guess maybe Garrett Wilson, I don't think too that highly of his bench. Especially this week. I mean, if he's actually starting Kenny Pickett, like he's shooing for a loss this week.
He's a shoo-in for a loss anyway.
Oh, I forgot he's playing.
Yeah,
I also have Diego here.
Dude, why do you always
Go ahead,
laugh?
son, go ahead.
Talk.
Because you just stopped midway.
Jewel, what do you got to say, man?
honestly, I think this is the worst running back situation, even worse than Mike's in fantasy. And Mike's got a pretty bad situation, but I don't even know how you could he basically swung and missed with his first two picks, Najee and Javonte, right? Just complete. I mean, it's not his fault. Javonte got towards ACL, but
it is
imagine
his fault that he picked Najee.
Yeah, it's his fault for picking Najee, but imagine having to
Najee.
carry on with your season, basically just two terrible first picks. It's rough.
Uphill battle.
I think it's the bright spot in his team, and he's got probably one of the deeper wide receivers, but besides that, there's not much going on. And like you said, with Hopkins coming back, I still think Marquise Brown will turn into a hit or miss kind of play. He'll probably have a random long touchdown 1 week because he's going to be seeing single coverage. But I still think he'll be good. I mean, he's fifth right now as wide receiver, but I don't see that holding up, obviously. But yeah, I mean, the wide receivers is really all he's got, and he's got the best defense.
Fair points. Fair points. I'm not as pessimistic on Brown when Hopkins comes back. I mean, maybe we'll have the chance to talk about Hopkins a little bit later, but it's not like this guy comes back and Marquise Brown goes bye-bye. If anything, Marquise Brown gets more favorable coverage. I think the volume is going to be there. But yeah, it's going to be tough to work with those back.
I have an 8.
Facts.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought this was my segment. I also have
Who do
Diego
you
at
think
8.
you are?
Just
I don't
fucking.
know, I was trying to get my ranking and got interrupted.
Damn.
But
Jesus.
yeah, Najee has been horribly
Najee.
disappointing for Diego this year. Najee has been incredibly disappointing for Diego. It's funny because he picked right in front of me and I almost wanted him, but gladly he took him before me. So he's very weak at running back. He's got St. Brown, who's been really, really good. Like we mentioned, Pittman has been really disappointing, and that's somebody that I thought was going to have a really good year, but possibly due to Matt Ryan not playing too well, he's really struggling. Likely due to that. Like you said, he's got Williams back in his lineup, and I think Mike Williams is really, really good. He's a great deep ball guy, so with him and Herbert just start really going off, that'll help him a lot. But I have him at 8 as well.
All right, number 7. Let's go. A hero lives. We have Love Hurts climbing back up the power rankings.
Boo.
Kevin pulled off a trade this week that's been a very controversial trade in the fantasy group chat. I personally I don't think it was like that bad on Nick's part. Like, I don't think you could really say that until it happens. Like, to be honest, I thought it was fair, then I thought it was bad, but now I think it's fair again.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man.
Hey, let him talk.
I don't think it's as we'll get into this later. Either way, I'm playing Kevin this week. He's got Burrow. He's got to go with Mike Boone. He doesn't have any other running backs. Sorry. I'm not gonna laugh because watch me laugh, and then he's gonna have like 25 points. So I'm not even gonna say that.
No, you can laugh. You can laugh at the kid still.
And then Dalvin Cook, Terry McLaurin, Jamar Chase. I'm not that high on all these Bengals again. Like I said before, just don't think they're who people thought they were coming into the season. I don't even know, has Jamar Chase had that like signature like 70-yard touchdown?
No, been terrible.
Yeah.
That's the first game, right?
The first game he had 31, and then ever since he's never been over 12.7, which is really bad.
Good Jewel on the spot with the stats. We love that.
Yeah.
Julian's really done his research here.
So
Pulling it up as we go.
All right, let him talk.
Anyway, he's got his new tight end with Gerald Everett. If Keenan's not back, Everett could have another nice game. He didn't have a good game last week, but you never know. Then he's got AJ Brown. Unfortunately, my QB1 is throwing to fucking AJ Brown this week, so hopefully Trayvon Diggs can cover him. When you look at Kevin's team, nothing really too flashy, but if this trade pans out for him, maybe he sneaks into the playoffs. Like I said, I have some teams slipping down the standings. So, brighter days ahead for Love Hurts, hopefully. Let's go, Kevin. Except for this week.
Still not a big fan of his team, to be honest.
I think it's better than it was before, at least.
I guess I have running back, but
I mean, running back, I don't even know how much I really trust Dalvin, to be honest.
You trust him more than Kamara, that's for sure.
The lucky thing is that I don't know why I said it to Nick. I would have done that trade if I got Alexander Madison back.
that's what
Because
I don't see the appeal whatsoever going from Tyler Lockett and DeAndre Hopkins to AJ Brown.
that's fair, but all I'm saying is I don't think Dalvin's lasting too long like he always does. And, usually Nick always hangs on to Madison, and now Kevin's got him, so he's kind of got insurance in that regard. So
He does.
Guy, who do you have at 7?
Yeah, I also have Kevin too. And, if this trade didn't go down this week, he would probably he might be in last, honestly. Like his team prior to this trade was
one of the worst I've ever seen.
abysmal. A bit like one of the worst I've ever seen. It was horrible. But you kind of touched on a lot of things. He's got Boone in his second running back spot, so we'll have to see how he does. Dalvin Cook, he's very, very solid. He does have injury concerns every year, so that's kind of a big thing. And now he's got AJ Brown in his flex spot, so that's a huge deal. Obviously, he has Burrow and Chase, which is, they haven't been electric yet, but that they're certainly capable of that. So that could easily happen at any point now. But yeah, that's where he is, and he would certainly be lower if this trade didn't happen. That's for sure.
I think we can all agree on that for sure.
Yeah.
Going to number 6. What is that? Hold on. Oh.
I'll do them. Let me do mine.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll take one
All
too.
right.
If you guys want me to?
You want to do the top
You wanna
5?
do this?
Jewel?
What?
Jewel, figure out your top 5. You could chime in on that.
Guy, who do you have at 6?
6, I have Nick. So the reason I had these two close together is because, this trade went down. So I feel like one team has, and, we might talk about it later. It's kind of conditional, but from right now, I feel one team has gotten better and one team has gotten worse. Eddie's talked about Kamara and how he's dealing with an injury right now. That offense doesn't look, Jameis has been out. So, that was a little concerning trading for him. He does have Hopkins now, so we'll see how he does once he comes back from his suspension. That's after this week, I believe. I love Mike Evans. I like Chubb a lot, but I don't know. To me, personally, I would not have done that trade, but we'll have to see.
All right. At number 6, I have Lamar and the Pandas here. I'm just not sure about Jonathan Taylor right now because he has apparently had a high ankle sprain, which is supposed to be like 4 to 6 weeks or something. I think going forward for Lamar and the Pandas here, well, at least for this week, I mean, James Robinson is kind of looking to get a little phased out of the offense. Damian Harris is hurt. So if Jonathan Taylor doesn't play this week, it's kind of like, who can you even start there, Who do you even have to start there?
Dontrell Hilliard, who once
No,
won.
he's on bye. Hilliard's on bye this week. Yeah, so I feel like if Taylor doesn't play this week, like it's James Robinson, and I don't know.
Why don't we ask the man himself? He's right here. Son, what is your plan without
RB2, honey, if Taylor's out.
Taylor's out. I have a claimant for a running back. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Wait, I also want to ask you, Sonny, what's with the roster spot of Dearness Johnson? What is that?
Wait, you have Dearness Johnson, dude?
That's odd.
No, but I'm just hoping one of the Browns running backs is Croaks. So I'm just
So
hoping.
what? Then you could have the handcuff to the one that steps into the
Dude,
spot.
he's lit. He's lit. He's lit.
No, they haven't, Sonny. They haven't even activated him for any of the games this year. I think they're waiting to trade him to another team.
Oh shit. Okay, that's good to hear. That.
Going off that, Lamar looked a little bit slowed down after the back-to-back 40-point performances. He's still putting up good numbers. Last week he had – oh, wait, no, he only had 15 last week. He had 20, 46, 41, then 13 and 14. 13, 14. He's got the Giants this week, whose defense doesn't look bad. Debo, I love Debo going forward. I think Debo's great going forward. Gabe Davis, good. I feel like he's a Oh shit, I forgot you had DJ Moore too. DJ Moore, not unlucky in DJ Moore. I mean, I honestly thought he would be better with Baker, but unfortunately, Baker has just proved he is just horrible. Baker Mayfield bust. He sucks. There's nothing else to really say about him. I love Debo though. Gabe Davis showed though what he could do in that Bills offense, which if he has a week like that, again, it can win you a game. Going forward, it's just really a matter of getting healthy here for Lamar and the Pandas. But right now, they're not healthy, so I have them at number 6.
No, respect.
And going to number 5, I have Bad Vibes Forever. I'm not 100% ready to write Nick's team off just yet until we see how he does. He's still got Chubb. He's still got Mike Evans. He's got Brady, who hasn't been looking amazing, but looks a little bit better. Who knows? I mean, if Hopkins comes back and has a comeback year, like, you can shake your head all you want, but
what would be classified as a comeback year exactly?
If he goes the rest of the season and has like 800 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns.
And you think that's possible the way Arizona has looked so far?
I mean, it can be.
Last year.
I think it's a possibility.
Okay.
I do not. He didn't have 100 yards last year.
He didn't have 100 yards in a game last year.
That's what I'm saying. If he has a comeback season, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they didn't have Hollywood Brown last year, and Zach Ertz.
That's a big if.
It's still in the realm of possibility, which would make the trade work in his favor. I know you don't like Tyler Lockett going forward, but like, are the Seahawks going to start playing ball control and like running the football? I mean, they're going to keep.
They want to play.
I like it. Every year, every single season, Tyler Lockett is undervalued in fantasy, and they always say like, "Oh, like, is he going to keep it up?" And he always ends up doing good.
Okay, man.
Geno Smith's PFF's #1 QB right now, man. He's not going to slow down anytime soon.
Hey, take him from me then. I'll give you him.
I mean,
I need a quarterback terribly.
I do.
Yeah, then who else? Oh yeah, and Kamara. I mean, I don't really know what to think of Kamara. I know Eddie doesn't like him, but
no.
Hey, if Kamara could put up like 15 a game for him, maybe like, and he's got Chubb at RB1, the trade could work out in his favor. So
it's just Taysom Hill. Didn't have Taysom Hill have 3 rushing touchdowns
and a passing touchdown.
That's only part of the concern with Kamara. Like you don't want part of him. You don't. I mean, look at the games aside from the one game he played Seattle. He was being clowned for scoring 6 to 7 points a game. I don't see the appeal.
Guy, who do you have at number 5?
5. I have Sonny here. So I have him a little higher than you because I think all of the points that you brought up as to why you had him where you did were definitely valid. JT's been struggling with injury. But, to be honest with you, I think Sonny, particularly at the wide receiver spot, has some depth. Davis doesn't go off every game, but I still think is pretty reliable in that offense. DJ Moore also struggling in a, like you said, Baker's offense that's not doing very well when they're not running the ball. But, Michael Gallup, I think, can be a decent flex option every other week or so. He's got Darren Waller, who was injured yesterday, but still, reliable tight end, better than a lot of tight ends in the league. So, yeah, I think he's got decent depth on the bench. And, of course, Lamar and JT, those are 2 guys that are, at full strength are some of the best fantasy players in the league. So that's why I had him a little higher than you.
He was only 1 spot higher.
Well, yeah, but he made the top 5. So
going to number 4.
Oh, we got Jewel hopping in. Jewel's going to do the top 5 as well.
Yeah, Julian's doing the entire top 5.
Sorry.
No, I don't need to do the whole thing. Let me join in.
He's gonna hop in. He wants to chime in.
All right. Going at number 4, I have Black Sheep. Kenny.
What the?
resurrecting himself from what I thought would be a cage watch season, but now Josh Jacobs is looking like fucking Adrian Peterson out here, rushing for back-to-back fucking 100-yard games. And honestly, why would they stop trying to do that? So he's got Eckler, who is now the RB1 after back-to-back 35-point games. Aaron Jones, I like T. Higgins a lot, actually, going forward. Zach Ertz has been a great tight end so far, playing the number 32 ranked defense versus tight ends this week in the Seattle Seahawks. Curtis Samuel has been good. I'm not really sold on him. DK, he's got Bucks D, who's like is gonna get him fucking like 30 points in a random game to win the fucking game. And he's on his bench. He's got Amari Cooper, who with Jacoby Brissett hasn't been looking that bad if you could start him the right weeks. Who knows? Maybe he gets some good games with him out of Deshaun Watson if Watson looks nice when he comes back. But yeah, I honestly thought management was going to be the downfall of Kenny's team, but the way he drafted, I guess he's not going to have to do that much managing. So
Unbelievable.
So I'll step in there. I also have Black Sheep at my number 4. Yeah, it's that's like you guys said, it didn't look that. I mean, honestly, he started off the draft. He started off looking good. He made a couple picks that people dubbed questionable, but those picks that were dubbed questionable ended up becoming great picks. Everyone was scared of DK Metcalf after week 1, but he's been pretty damn good since. And it seems like this new Seahawks aerial attack is gonna be a common thing. Josh Jacobs in the 5th round, crazy pick. If he keeps this up, like even just a little bit, I mean, he's just got an embarrassment of riches. I feel like embarrassment of riches, but not embarrassment. But he's got 2 really good players that could be great starters on other teams, just sitting on his bench.
But that's what I was gonna say.
Either it won't be getting traded.
Jones over Josh Jacobs, but I mean, I would have put Jacobs in at the flex, but either way, somehow, I mean, besides how Zach Ertz has been doing, his team is going to be competing, and he'll be in the playoffs, I'm sure.
Just real quick, Julie, you said exactly what I was going to say. Like, Cooper and Jacobs are 2 guys that can be starters. So like he's got really, really good depth there for me. Jacobs, yeah, Ed's shaking his head. Like Jacobs, you never know with him, but Cooper as well is kind of he can have like a really down game, but he's had like a couple weeks where he's really done well because he's the number 1 in
25.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to number 3, despite what we see in the standings, I have Castro's Palace at number 3. Despite being 5-0, Castro is still second in PF. When you look at Castro's team, it doesn't look that dominant, but he's 5-0, and he's number 2 in point scoring. I just like the number 2 team I have a little bit better going forward, but Castro's got arguably the best stack in fantasy football, as we saw last night. Sorry, at tight end. Sorry.
That's right.
And hopefully I'm praying with you, Castro. Hopefully Drake London can find more success. Just hopefully generally in that Falcons offense to have more success. Because it's looking a little scary right now. Drake London had a hot start to the season, but then he had 4 catches for 35 yards. Yes, on Sunday versus Cleveland, he had 2 catches for 17 yards, and he's just kind of been going down ever since those first 2 games. I don't know if he could keep it up. I mean, the talent is there, but he's just in a horrible situation. Head coach is horrible. His quarterback is horrible, and he's just not on a very good team. Michael Thomas, another guy, I don't know if I trust him that much as the wide receiver 1 for Castro going forward. Adam Thielen. I don't know, how did Adam Thielen do last week?
Not,
4K?
you have him at 3. I have him at 3 too.
Yeah, it's
I was considering putting him at 4, honestly, not to be spiteful or anything.
CMC though has looked good. It's paying off for 3 pick he had. If CMC can stay healthy this whole season, definitely a team that could finish in the top 3 in standings for sure. Only thing why I had Castro at 3 instead of 2 is he really has no bench. So it's like if someone goes down for him,
Yes.
it's like it's not gonna look good.
Yep.
Solid points.
Who's you have 3?
Again, so all 3 of us again had the same person. I have Castro too. You know, you really put it well with, like, when you look at his team, you would not think that this team is where it is, second in points scored. Like, he has no bench. His second running back is, I mean, Mostert, you know, he's been doing pretty well. Wide receiver, he's very, very weak at, in my opinion. You know, I think he likes London. That's fine, but you know, I don't know if this is a guy that, like, you just start every single week. It's an offense that's just struggling. But like you said, you know, Mahomes and Kelsey, that stack is just absolutely insane. We saw it last night. Kelsey had 4 touchdowns. That's going to win you games. So, you know, and of course he has possibly the best player in fantasy with McCaffrey. So at the same time, it's not a surprise as to where he is.
Do we miss anything there, Jewel?
No, I think the wide receivers, like, are really concerning, man. This is, like, listen,
Yeah.
His team he's got really great players, like three players that are absolute superstars, and they're gonna have weeks like they just did. But when they don't, what happens? Drake London, Michael Thomas barely even could get on the field, and then you got George Pickens, like, gonna put him in there, and how is he even playing Adam Thielen? Like, find someone better off. I love his team. He's got great pieces, but I told him I think he needs to make a move for a receiver because Mariota can't throw a fucking pass to save his life. And, like, you know, it's all fun and games with Drake London, the hype and shit, until he's doing what he's doing right now. I mean, he shouldn't even be starting.
When you told him that he might need a receiver, how did he take that coming from you?
He was not in agreement.
But how is he going to trade for one if he has nothing to trade with? Like, no depth. I mean, nobody's going to want fucking MT or Drake London, and his bench is shit. So how's he going to trade for a receiver? He's going to have to give up one of those big pieces. So
Sure.
the same.
No man's land. He needed at least, like, one guy, like one deep pick. Like, I mean, he probably could have gotten a guy like I got Kirk or something late round that would have been for him, but I don't know how he ended up with these wide receivers. I would have to look at his draft board.
Yeah, so going to number 2, I have the Cardiac Kids. Cardiac Kids sitting at 3 and 2, only what is it? About 12 points behind second place in points for, and about 13 from first place in points for. So Jules' team, you look at it and you could see the blemish right away. It's the QB. Kirk Cousins already lost him a game this year. And if Kirk Cousins stays in the lineup, unfortunately, might lose him more. I don't know what he put up. Who'd you start when you lost to me, Jewel? Was it T-Law? You start Kirk.
No, I started Kirk Cousins. Wait, did I lose to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, what's Kirk? I mean, Kirk didn't do that bad though. He had 18 points. But yeah, those are the kind of things. But you only lost to me by, like, I think it was like 7 points or something, 6 or 7 points. But definitely the wide receiver 1, 2, and then tight end trio there is really strong. They win you games by themselves some weeks. It's just when the floor falls out on them. Sometimes it's just really not when you don't have a quarterback. it's just kind of lots to overcome. You do got Olave too on the bench, who has been looking great. Clyde has been looking good so far. Jeff Wilson and then Damian Pierce. So really, you're not weak at wide receiver, tight end, or running back at all, or at a flex option. It just comes down to if you can really find that true QB. That's what's like kind of keeping you from being the number one team.
Hi, Soprano.
Yeah, a lot of our picks matched up this week. I also have Julian. You know, very regretfully, because this is a team that everybody really talked really down on going into the season. But yeah, there's no denying that he's got Jefferson, Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's an excellent wide receiver 1 and 2. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I was watching last night. You know, he's running really hard. He's scoring. You know, he's definitely succeeding in that offense as the. It's a little bit of a committee. They'll bring in other guys, but he's definitely number one there. You know, Damian Pierce as well, another really solid pick. Something that we all judge, but has definitely paid off. You know, his bench, there's not a lot of people on his bench, but, you know,
I just had in
back is
kind of
yeah. But, you know, quarterback's definitely a weakness, but then he's got Mark Andrews, who's, you know, having a top 3 tight end is just helps so much. Something I wouldn't know. But yeah, Julian's team is doing really well, so I wonder where it's going to go from here. But
Ed, anything
we'll
to
see.
say?
I think Jewel is very, very deserving of the spot. You guys pretty much hit the nail on the head. He does not have a quarterback, and there's really no outlet for him to get a quarterback. Waivers are a wasteland. He has to ride with Kirk, and Kirk will have his 20-point weeks, and those will be good weeks, but Kirk will also have his bad weeks. Thankfully, he has enough upside to hopefully counteract that, but very solid team, got some good pieces on the bench. And I'm happy to see him pay off for you, Jewel, making me eat my words with your 4 and 5 picks.
And all right.
Wait, Jewel, you have a 3.
Let me come in here. So this would be my number 2 pick, and this will be a very big surprise to everyone. But it technically would be my number 3 team because I rank myself obviously in the top 2. But my 2 pick is Bad Vibes Forever. And I know maybe it might not seem like right now, like he could actually produce like a top 3 team, but Nick Chubb is obviously I got Browns bias, but he's just gonna continue all season long. He's gonna have 20-point floor. He could go for fucking 30 points. He's gonna be nonstop a machine. He'll have rushing touchdowns every single week, and then. I mean, Kamara, you could be critical of where he got picked and how he's done so far, but to have Kamara at an RB2 when you already have Nick Chubb there I think it's great. And honestly, I do believe he might have some more upside over Dalvin Cook, even though some might not think. I think he's going to start reeling in catches and getting involved more. And then you got Mike Evans and Mike Evans, wide receiver 1. He's going to keep getting targets and production this year. And Kittle is a guy that hasn't done good right now, and you might get maybe nervous about, but he's going to blow up. He's bound to. He's going to start to become the George Kittle that we know with Garoppolo barring his health. But, yeah, and Tyler Lockett, I'm in on Tyler Lockett. I think he'll be great. And I see that there's 2 options for him once Hopkins comes back, so he could choose one of those 2 guys as his second guy because Evans is going to be straight through wide receiver 1. I'm higher on his team than most. He's got the best defense, or at least probably top 3 defense in the league. And then he has a high-end handcuff in A.J. Dillon. If something happens to Jones, then we're looking at his team completely different. It'll be amazing. So
something.
Yeah.
Did you and Nick have any words before that trade came to be?
No.
He just did that on his own?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
That did
odd.
not sound convincing.
It's odd that you guys see things, I guess, the same way with Lockett and Kamara.
He says that he lost the
Good
trade.
point, man.
He keeps saying he lost the trade now. I believe that. I think it'll work out for him personally.
Okay.
That's just one man's opinion. We'll check on it later on as the year goes by. I think he's fine. I think the team was great before, and I think losing AJ Brown hurt him for sure. But I still think his team is in a great spot, and I think he'll be better than finishing. He's going to be in the playoffs. I promise you that.
Yeah, okay.
Am I frozen for anyone?
No, the kid don't listen.
Yes,
Fucking weird ass.
you are frozen.
Not frozen.
Now going to number 1. No, don't make me say it.
Who is
Yeah.
Suck my dick. Number 1 in points for the past 5 weeks. I mean, what do you got to say here? Week in and week out, the team's just putting up points and beating whoever's in front of them. Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Stephon Diggs. Personally think those are the best 3 players on the team. You got David Monty at RB2. I'm not really that high on David Monty. I think that offense stinks. So I don't really know how he's going to be going forward. But, yeah, Sutton's definitely the guy to have in Denver, not Judy. He's got Lazard, who is number 1. I don't know. Maybe Randall Cobb might be the number 1 option in Green Bay. But Lazard has been putting up his numbers. Then he's got Goddard and Njoku at tight end. Then on the bench, you got some trash with A-Rob and Darnell Mooney. That's all right, because the front end of the lineup is just so strong that it doesn't really even matter. I don't know how big I am as you are on the Jameson Williams comeback train. I don't know if he's gonna light the world on fire when he comes back. But
that was takeoff.
Yeah, man, I don't know what else to say.
I think his team is incredibly balanced. I don't think there's a guy. Maybe there's I mean Barkley's doing really great, but Diggs will set the world on fire every once in a while. But his team is incredibly balanced, and you can't deny the production. I like Pollard as a guy for him to become his RB2 in the future, because I don't know what's going on with, or how long people continue to stink up the field. But yeah, and then Njoku's a guy that I wish I had held on to. I cut him because he had a really bad week 1, but Ed knows we were both huge on him. He's going to finish top 5 tight end, no doubt. He gets wide receiver looks. And Brissett loves him, and I'm sure Watson will too. But he has a couple good pieces too. I don't know why you're hanging on to Allen Robinson and Mooney. You could really replace them with better players on the waiver wire, and I'm confident of that. But he does have a couple guys like Alec Pierce, who, if he was on the waivers, he would be a commodity probably this week. And Lazard is I wouldn't want anything to do with him, but he's solid. He always gets 10, and he's a safe kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, I would put myself at number 1, but Ed is definitely the number 2 to me.
This kid got fucking balls, man. Guy, what do you have to say? You got a first-hand experience with my team this past week. Any comments?
Yeah, I mean, very, very, very regretfully have you at number 1. It hurts to see you 5-0, and I almost broke that streak this week.
Why does it hurt? Why does it hurt to see me there?
Because it just sucks seeing you at the top, man. It really does. And initially I didn't think that you had a really balanced team. I thought you kind of heavily on Diggs and Josh Allen, who are doing insane things right now. But Saquon could end up as the like you said at the beginning of the year, top 3 running back, could end up number 1 possibly. Montgomery, he's kind of iffy on him. You have Sutton, who's another solid wide receiver. Robinson was a bust. Mooney was a bust, that's for sure. But like Julian said, I think Pollard can. He had a really nice play yesterday against the Rams, a really nice run. So he just every time I see him play, he just gets better each and every week, going back to last year. So I think he could turn into a solid option possibly in the future. But like I said, it is tough seeing you up there. But
what do you?
Yeah.
So initially, you called that trade between Mike and Ed a fleece by Mike. Do you have any second thoughts about that?
Remind me what the trade was again.
Mike said
Antonio Gibson for David Monty and Alan Lazard.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, Brian Robinson is back now, so I feel like Gibson is just kind of trending downward, in my opinion. Monty, like I said, is kind of like iffy, but at this point right now, I would probably favor Monty over Gibson. Yeah.
What do we mean by iffy exactly? Do we not like the workhorse back and a run-heavy offense? I mean, I'm not counting on him to light the world on fire. 10 to 15 would be great.
Yeah, I mean, he's a decent running back too. It just doesn't jump out at me.
Herbert for fucking Walker. If you had Walker, you would probably win the league if you kept on to him. And
What do you make of? I mean, Seattle isn't just going to give Walker 20 touches a game like you think, man. DJ Dallas and Travis Homer have already been involved.
He's the guy. No Penny in town now, man. He's gonna be workhorse.
I guess we'll see.
I'm gonna be kicking rocks, being like, "Why did I give up on him? Why did I give up on him?"
I mean, I needed a handcuff, man. We already saw Monty go down once.
All right. Well, moving on to
Happy year one, man.
Our other fan favorite segment, the Cage Watch. I'm gonna go first with my obvious pick at the Cage Watch. I have you wish your team didn't fucking stink, Wilson. And I had you as my comeback player of the year too.
Me too.
Yeah, I already touched on Wilson in the power rankings, but this team is just gonna snowball, man, just downhill until it just hits week 14 and he's just like 2-13 or 2-12 or whatever. It's just not looking good for Wilson, man.
Do we know if getting Wilson in the cage is like something that will actually happen? Because I feel like
you might want to come with a text in the chat first. Like that would probably be better.
I know where he lives, so we could cook something up for him for sure.
Jesus.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I got a little bit of a surprise here.
Let's hear it.
I have the Diego Juniors as my question. I'm sorry, man.
That's what I had as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think this team's falling apart a little bit. I don't know who he's going to be putting out there at running back. I mean, I personally would put in like fucking 100 on Jalen Warren if I were him, because
100. And what, not start Najee or start them both?
I don't know, man. Najee's fucking, he's on the way out, dude. I think he's gonna get benched or something.
I'm sure he's gonna get benched.
Not benched, but he's gonna. Warren's gonna become the guy there. They're gonna be down a lot too. So.
That's for your bug.
An undrafted rookie. They just spent a first-round pick on Najee, man.
You're bugging.
Trust me, man. They had Warren in because they were down all game. You think they're gonna be down a lot with Pickett? They're gonna be fucking. They're not gonna be throwing passes while they're down to Najee. They're gonna have him off the field a lot.
I have a point there.
But yeah, no, that's my my surprise pick right there.
I guess I'll go.
Yes.
Okay.
I have Mike.
He was a consideration too.
Ever since, I guess, didn't Mike win week 1, right?
No.
No, okay. Ever since like whenever he got his first win, his team just has went like downhill. Because as you've seen, Waddle is nothing without Tua. He's past like couple games. Waddle's like nothing, and Deontay Johnson's horrible.
He really is. He's fucking terrible, man. And this kid trying to or just people trying to gas him up.
I mean, what do you define as terrible? You know what you're getting from him, man. As you're, he's not going to score 8 touchdowns again this year. We could have told you that coming into the year, but as your flex, you could do a lot worse than Deontay. What happened?
He has 0 touchdowns.
I know. I said he's not going to come anywhere close to 8, which is what he had last year.
Also, Mike has Kyler, and I think Kyler is shit too. And Mike's been trying to trade away Kyler, but nobody's gonna bait into wanting Kyler. Kyler is horrible. Also, I was joking by saying Eddie did get fleeced by Mike for the David Monty and Lazard trade because I hate Eddie in fantasy, but Eddie fucking opened Mike Keats up for that trade. Like Alan Lazard is like he's solid and Monty's solid. Look at Agib. Agib is nothing now with Brian Robinson, and he's not gonna be anything. He's not even gonna be a factor in the next like couple of weeks. He should be like dropped soon. Agib.
Jesus.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, look at his production.
He's a king of hot takes on the
He
pod.
does like hot takes.
That's true.
Still, too.
What happened?
Do they have McKissick still, or is
Yeah.
he on?
Yes. Like it's
Robinson. Fucking droppable soon. I agree.
Ed?
Well, speaking of hot takes here, this is a bit of a stretch, but crazier things have happened. And when you start trending in the wrong direction, things can snowball, like we alluded to. I've been outspoken about it. I think Nick took a dramatic step back with that trade that he made. And yeah, he has some pieces. He's got Nick Chubb. He's got Mike Evans, who's a solid receiver. I would say high end 2 rather than a solid 1. But when you look at everything else, I mean, it's a real roll of the dice to count on Tyler Lockett as your second receiver. George Kittle, I don't know if we knew this, but he's playing tackle essentially these days. 49ers, Trent Williams went down. He's going to be out till at least December. Kittle is probably the best overall talent in the league at tight end. They're not concerned about fantasy owners getting him long plays over the middle. They're more than happy to keep him into block for the running game. I mean, you got no real great quarterback here. Brady, I mean, was, again, free in the draft. Free, round 12. Anyone could have had him. Is he that much of an upgrade over Matt Stafford?
Wait, hold on. Before you keep going, we're just going to transition and just turn this into a segment on the trade itself.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Taking it from the top, I mean, Nick's team was undoubtedly in the top 3, in my opinion, before this trade. Dalvin Cook, which I believe he got at pick 5. I think that was a solid value. He got nicked up in week 4, but didn't miss any time. The only real knock on him was that he wasn't scoring touchdowns. He was getting all the touches you want, 20 touches a game. And at the running back position in the league today, I mean, you kill for that. Now, essentially, let's look at the swap there. He went from that to Kamara. Kamara, prior to this week, not doing a whole lot and suffered a rib cartilage fracture, which is not something that heals overnight. That's something that's going to linger for the rest of the year. And aside from that, what do you say?
When did he suffer that injury?
I think week 1 or 2. It might not come up on fantasy as a questionable every week, but that's something that's just not going away. And aside from that, you look at the landscape of the Saints offense, and I don't really see Kamara as this featured player. He's never run for 1,000 yards in the NFL. He never ran for 1,000 yards in college. He's not that workhorse back you'd like Dalvin Cook. He's someone who you're praying catches upwards of 6 passes a game, which is going to happen, I mean, a handful of times a year, especially if Jameis Winston comes back, because he's someone who's looking for Olave down the field. He's looking for Michael Thomas over the middle. I just don't see. And now we got Taysom Hill coming in, scoring 4 touchdown games. I mean, I think, was awake and coherent on Sunday. He saw these things happen. Dalvin Cook scored 2 touchdowns. Everything you were looking for happened. And I don't see what he's forecasting here, how he upgraded, how he got better there. Because to me, I don't think you can make the case that Kamara is more preferable than Cook. And then we look at receiver, and this is where it gets really bad. I mean, Nick got the steal of the draft in the 4th round with A.J. Brown. Yeah, he had his worst game of the season this past week, but I mean, he didn't get hurt. Nothing bad happened. It was just an off day. It was a bad day at the office. And you turn a top 12 receiver into Tyler Lockett, who caught 2 beautiful passes by Geno Smith for long touchdowns and has been, the stat sheets will show he's been great this year. But can we really rely on Geno Smith? Yes, he's been playing out of his mind. Is he going to do this for the whole year? Is Seattle going to be a pass-first team? No, they want to run the football. And you got DK Metcalf there to contend with. A.J. Brown is the number 1 in his offense. DeAndre Hopkins, I already gave you the stats. No 100-yard games last year. No games over 6 catches. You're praying for a touchdown. I don't see how he got better there. And I mean, where it gets really bad, Jamal Williams coming into this week led the league in touchdowns. He was a steal. Him as your RB3 or 4 on your roster is just gold. And what did he get in return for that? A quarterback for free. Tom Brady. I mean, I don't see the big upgrade with him to Matt Stafford. I don't see that. But yeah, Nick, you're trending in the wrong direction, and I wouldn't be surprised if things went so bad, whereas you didn't make the playoffs and potentially put you in the basement, last place. Crazier things have happened. But there's my tangent. Very, very bad move. And the worst part of this is the winner of this is the kid who was buried, dead to rights. Kevin's team, we could all agree, was horrible. And he's got a new lease on life. He's got
That's the worst part about it.
The thing is, I don't get why did Nick do this trade with Kevin whenever he tries to trade with other people, the only 2 players he offers is fucking Brandon Ayuk and AJ fucking Dillon.
That's a great point. That is a great, and even them he's stingy with.
Like, was this kid okay last night when he made the trade or something?
I can't get Nick to talk about a trade with me for the life of me. I tried all season, and it just never.
Yeah, I want to see like the fucking conversation, like the messages.
I'd love to. I would do anything to see it.
It goes on his knees, I guess, for Kevin then. Like this simple.
Yeah, and the best part is that Kevin has yet to make a comment on it.
Because he knows.
Did, man. He knows.
He's sitting back with a smirk on his face. I just completely improved my team. And that's the worst part, is that he had one of the worst teams in the league. Possibly the worst. Possibly the worst. Yeah. So, and now he just made a move that could, help him win some games. So that's the worst part, in my opinion. But
that's it.
We'll see.
Yeah, me personally, I've been wanting A.J. Brown since week 1, but my phone gets left on red every single time. No conversation.
Wait, why do you want A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith?
No, I wanted to get a trade where we would at least swap them. But I never got past the first text about A.J. Brown. Never got replied past that. So
horrible.
Any other comments on this before we move on?
Said my piece.
Moving on, we have the pick'em here. We'll start off with Julian versus Castro. Castro's House versus Cardiac Kids. I have as my game of the week this week. And I have Julian winning this one. I think it depends really. If Xavier Howard is out again, Justin Jefferson is going to be going up against the 3rd-string cornerback for the Dolphins, who he will probably do some things to him that I will not want to see on Sunday.
What's up with Byron Jones?
He's still on the physically unable to perform list. He had surgery in the offseason late. I don't know why he had it so late, but he's still not up to pup. So, he's going to be going up against probably Noah Igbinoghene if
Isn't he a former first-round pick?
Yes, former first-round pick. Yeah, Justin Jefferson has a big week ahead of himself if Xavier Howard is out. Tyreek Hill, I'm praying Tyreek Hill could go off because I don't think Tua's playing this week. Hopefully
Really?
Teddy Bridgewater is good to go. Apparently though, with this new NFL concussion protocol, it's like a 5-day process to get cleared from it, and he can't practice while he's in it. So if Teddy does start, he's gonna have little practice. So yeah, it's just not looking great for Tyreek Hill right now. He also was in a walking boot after the game because Quinn Williams stepped on him because our third string QB fumbled. And for some reason, Tyreek Hill, I get it. Like, you want to, like, save the touchdown, but, bro, you're worth fucking $32 million a year. Like, you don't got to try and tackle fucking Quinn Williams, dude. Like, come on. Like,
He's
but,
the
yeah.
Bridgewater.
What do you say?
The anti-Teddy Bridgewater. You remember the clip where Teddy Bridgewater just like fucking doesn't try and make the
What he
tackle?
fucking should have done. Went up and tried to square up Quinn Williams and just got fucking absolutely fucking But Mostert, I don't know if Skylar Thompson does start again. I would imagine the Vikings do not let Mostert just run for 100 yards again. I just like Julian's matchups a little bit better here. You got Kelsey is playing Buffalo, so I don't know if Buffalo will let Kelsey score 4 touchdowns again. I mean, throughout the season, Kelsey hasn't been like racking up that many yards, but he's been scoring so many touchdowns that it hasn't really mattered. Actually, no, never mind. He has. I thought he didn't. He had 120, 51, 58. Yeah, okay, I take that back. He has been the only yardage and touchdown wise. But I don't know if Buffalo D will let him. If I'm Buffalo, I'm letting it be anybody punt Kelsey. Buffalo's got a good front seven. They got good safeties. So I just like Julian's matchups a little better this week.
Well, I also have this as my game of the week, but I have a different outcome. I think Castro's Palace finds a way yet again. I mean, you guys at least alluded to it, how his team, you look at it, you don't necessarily see an undefeated team, but, he finds a way. And I think it's kind of gone under the radar that he's made some great lineup decisions. I mean, he's 1 point behind me for the most in the league, so it's not like it's just a 2 or 3 man show with the Chiefs and McCaffrey. I think he's going to find a way this week. I mean, the game to have players in is the Buffalo and Kansas City game that has the potential to, I don't know, have a 60-point game total at least. Who knows how it's going to go? It could also be a defensive battle. But I look at Julian's side, I'm just a little bit more worried about some things. I think it's odd that Tyreek Hill was in a walking boot. I'm not sure what exactly he had going on, if that's something that's going to linger, if that's something that might keep him on the sidelines this week. I think the Dolphins.
What's going on with Olave's concussion? Because he'll be taking Tyreek's spot if he's healthy.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It looked bad, though, based on what I saw. I also don't know how that play was upheld as a touchdown. That was kind of boggling to me. But aside from that, back to the game. I think that Miami's defense is kind of underrated. I think they're a respectable unit. Having Kirk and Jefferson against them on the road in Miami, yes, no Xavier Howard would be game-changing, but I'm going to assume that he will be on the field and hold Jefferson in check. Buffalo's run defense is top 5 in the league easily. They just shut down Najee. Clyde Edwards has lived and died by the touchdown. I don't think the yards are going to be there this week, so we're really gambling on a 1-yard touchdown run or a 5-yard pass into the flats where he gets in. Jeff Wilson, this is a great place for him to get started. He's been valuable on Julian's bench. He'll be filling in for Dameon Pierce. But ultimately, on Castro's side, McCaffrey against the Rams, they're going to be playing from behind. I think that's actually a decent matchup for him. Drake London against San Fran. I think he could get back on track there. Their secondary is pretty banged up with injuries. He has Michael Thomas in as of now. I don't know if he plays, but this could be a George Pickens week with the kind of game flow of that game against Tampa. They're going to go down early. Maybe Pickens gets some work in the second half.
Honestly, I'm more nervous about Pickens than any wide receiver on his roster.
It's understandable, yeah.
because they're going to be down, and Kenny Pickett's just
Fire me with my
been
yep.
throwing for a lot of.
Definitely the game of the week, though. Two of the
I
top
don't know why
teams.
you didn't play him last week.
Guy?
Sonny?
I'll go. My game of the week is Justin and Eddie. And I have
No, you
Wait.
we're on the match of Castro versus Julian.
I also don't play Justin.
no, I mean my game of the week is the same game of week you guys chose.
Oh, okay.
And I have Julian winning that game. And the reason why I have Julian is because I just feel like Justin Jefferson's gonna go for like 40 plus against that Miami defense. And Mark Andrews is he's amazing. That's a pick I have nightmares about. Like I should have drafted Mark Andrews. And then my Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson stack, that would have been amazing. And it makes me sick to my stomach to see Julian have him. But I just think Julian is gonna beat Castro's team because I don't know, but I don't know, man.
I mean, if Tyreek Hill's out, then I would go Castro's way probably.
But no, then Julian can just put Hunt as a flex. Hunt can get you 10 points. That's fine.
Yeah, but if Tyreek Hill isn't there, that takes away that like 30-point kind of boom.
I know, but Castro has MT and Drake London, so really depends on Kelsey and Mahomes. But we'll see. I have Julian.
Guy?
I also have Castro and Julian as the game of the week. But I was actually primarily thinking about the idea of them two going up against each other because they're always kind of going at chat. So I think it'll be entertaining, the kind of shit talk that goes on between them. And then as for the winner, like Ed said, I was looking at Buffalo and Kansas City, and I feel like if that's like the most exciting games of the year, just an absolute battle between the two best quarterbacks in the league, I think Castro will win because obviously but Sonny brought up a good point about Jefferson. With Miami's defense having some injuries, Jefferson's primed for a huge game. So I just think it'll be an exciting game between the two of them, and I'm looking forward to the conversations they have if it gets close.
Well said.
Right. Moving on, we have Bad Vibes Forever versus You Wish. Not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Giving it to Nick. Devontae Adams is out this on bye for Wilson, and I just don't think he has a chance.
I, too, have Nick winning. I opted not to have an upset of the week. I do think there's maybe a 15 or 20% chance Wilson could pull a rabbit out of a hat and get a win here. But, I don't think Nick's going to have to put up a lot to get a win here. I think 110 points would probably get the job done, and he should be able to do that.
Honestly, I have Nick as well. For Wilson, I think Wilson should just blow up his team because it hasn't helped him. I know Eddie said his team has a lot of upside, I guess, but I don't know, maybe Judy would go off.
The hope is dwindling.
But
Made a trade, meanwhile, came very close.
Wilson needs to start trading some of his, maybe Adams or Mixon to get, I guess, somewhat decent players, but Nick is going to easily win this. He doesn't even have to probably score more than 100.
Facts.
Guy?
Anyone else?
Jewel?
Just same as you guys. I'm gonna go with Nick.
Yeah, I agree.
Beating
We don't gotta spend much time on this one.
Fair.
Next we have Lamar and the Pandas versus the Gurney Satrialis.
Oh no, I'm scared.
It's a little, I don't want to say tough, but with JT out, Sonny, you just really don't got running backs.
I know.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard. If JT plays though, I'm gonna go with Sonny in this one.
I did. Julie, you want to go?
I don't know. I think even if Jonathan Taylor plays, he's not going to be really getting like a giant workload. I think it might even work against you if he ends up playing, because you might have to start him, because what are you going to do? And then he's going to get you like 6 or 7 points because he's not ready yet. I mean, you're like Gabe Davis could have fucking another crazy day, catch a couple touchdowns, and I think Debo obviously will have a great day too. But yeah, it comes down to I guess probably running back for you.
I did have Sonny also winning originally. Looking, and this is going to be a close game, and the story of Mike's season has been close games. More often than not, he's been on the wrong side of it. This is going to be a low-scoring affair. It's going to be very ugly, just like last week, where I think Diego only had to put up around 100 points to get the job done. Mike failed to reach 60 points. But I think Mike's going to find a way here. I wouldn't be surprised if the total was like 95, 85. Very underwhelming all around, but Mike needs this one a little bit more than Sonny does, and I think he's going to find a way. Guy?
Yeah. I actually have this is my upset of the week. I think this would be a close game, and I have Mike beating Sonny. Might be a little wishful thinking on my part. I'm praying on Sonny's downfall, but Mike's been in close games all year, so it'd be big for him to get a win here and kind of revitalize his hopes.
All right. Moving on, we have Baba Black Sheep versus the Jersey Sopranos. My upset of the week.
Oh
New
shit!
Jersey Sopranos on top.
Oh, okay. Did not expect that.
God Kenny losing this week. Wait, let me pull up the matchup. All right. I think that people think that the Packers are going to go into New York and just like, oh no, they're at Lambeau. My bad. People think that because the Packers are home versus the Jets, just going to be like, oh, Rodgers, whatever. No, like Rodgers and the Packers do not look good. Jets defense isn't horrible. They're a 3-2 team. I don't think Rodgers is going to walk all over them. I don't think Aaron Jones is going to have a great day. It really, honestly, hopefully for you, Guy, Tampa Bay doesn't have 30 points on fucking defense, but it very well might happen.
Yeah.
But I think Lenny has a good day. Stevenson has the Browns look like dog shit versus the run. So, like, Ramondre Stevenson can run for 150 yards. Like, only thing I just don't like in your lineup is that Michael Carter play. I think you could just take a chance on someone else on the waiver wire for all that.
That could definitely, that change could be made later in the week. Definitely thinking about it.
But yeah, not that Kenny has bad matchups, but I don't know. I think it's a game he can lose.
I'll hop in here.
Sopranos on top.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. My lock of the week is actually Black Sheep, and I'd be willing to bet the deed to my house on that. On one side, you have a team with favorable matchups, a complete team, I might add. And on the other side, you have a team that is missing their best player on bye week. But even if you had Henry, that probably wouldn't change the outcome. Divisional game, Justin Herbert against Denver on Monday night. I don't expect Keenan Allen to play, but you have him penciled in. You sure are wishful thinking. Tight end, you have 2 injured tight ends. Pat Freiermuth, I think, has a concussion. looked fairly bad. Dawson Knox has been horrible this year and has been injured. I don't know what your plan is there. Maybe you pick up a guy off waivers, or maybe you finally go out and try to get someone. But your flex is a huge question mark. Michael Carter honestly might be your best option. You don't really have a lot else going for you. Just a bad team. I'm sorry to tell you. I mean, last week you scored nearly 140. I don't think you'll come close to that. Maybe for a while. And Kenny might be the high scoring team this week. And you'll probably use that as some kind of sad, sorry, oh, I get the worst matchups, this and that. But no, your team is
Very true.
and you don't deserve to be bailed out.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
can't argue against that.
My locker of the week is Kenny as well, because Rodgers plays the Jets, and he's gonna torch them. And let's see, Curtis Samuel plays against Chicago. Come on, Chicago. Curtis Samuel has been one of the best options on the Redskins. It's Thursday Night Football, so who knows? He might go off tomorrow. And Zach Ertz against Seattle. That's gonna be high scoring. Seattle's defense sucks. So Zach Ertz could have a great game. And let's see, Tampa Bay against Pittsburgh. Kenny's gonna have like 40 points from defense.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Scary.
You have no chance
Very-
this week. Sorry. I'm sorry to tell you.
Unfortunate for me. that
Kenny's
I just
team
get
is
matchups
this
with.
week. Kenny's matchups are just you can't stop it. I'm sorry, guy, but you're not gonna win this week.
Jewel, you there? Jewel, you there?
I saw him. He's here.
Just turn on his camera for a second. Turn it on.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Jewel, who you got? Kenny versus Guy.
Um,
You're an odd kid. What are you doing, bro?
who, me?
Yeah.
I was just looking through the app. I don't know. I think it could go either way. It depends on. All right, so Jacobs is on bye. I'm just scared. Like, I think Ramondre Stevenson's gonna get 30 points. Like, this is the worst run defense I've ever seen in my life. Our starting nose tackles, our two starting D tackles are like graded the last 120th and 120th first defensive tackles in the league. Belichick's gonna eat our defense alive with fucking Bailey Zappi.
That's very good.
So it all comes down to, I mean, you don't have Henry, so Henry and Jacobs kind of cross each other out. If Eckler has another monster game like he's been having, then you really don't have a chance, honestly. And I think you do need Keenan Allen to play to stand a chance, because I'm kind of nervous to see who you're going to be sending out there. If not, you got a couple guys on bye, it looks like.
Yeah.
They weren't on bye. Like, is Hunter Renfrow really moving the needle? Like,
Definitely not. He's been a huge bust this year.
Yeah,
You said
if I were to just make a pick, maybe I would say Kenny. Yeah.
Ed, remember when you said that Allen Robinson might outscore Cooper Kupp this year?
yeah, talk about wishful thinking, huh?
Ooh,
Good thing I didn't move all my chips in on that.
there.
that is a horrible, horrible take. Oh my gosh.
Hey, man.
What other games do we have to do?
Next, we have Suck My Dick Up versus the Diego Juniors. My lock of the week going to Ed. Najee Harris versus Tampa. If this kid is actually starting Kenny Pickett versus Tampa Bay, I don't know what to say.
Not good.
What I gotta say.
Not good.
I don't think that's as bad of a start as you think, but it looks like it on paper.
What do you do versus the Bills? They scored 3 points.
This is his second career start, I think, right?
They're gonna be throwing all game, man.
Dude, he had
last week.
What exactly does
And just
52
you-
Kenny Pickett pass attempts mean to you? Like, what is
Just
that?
so you know, Kenny Pickett threw 3 should-be touchdowns that were dropped that game, last game.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
and this week, I mean, listen, even if he does, give Kenny Pickett 30 points, man. Like,
I mean, listen, I'm not saying it's a good he doesn't have any other choices. If you're looking at the fucking waiver wire, I don't hate
I'd
playing
rather
him.
start Russell
I
Wilson.
think you got to start Russell Wilson.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even think he has Russell Wilson there too, right?
I mean, either way. I mean, if you guys want to say
I would
he's
definitely
not
put
going to win the game, this is one of the easier wins I will have throughout the course of the season. Hate to say it, but there's just
You don't hate to say it.
Yeah.
I don't hate to say it. This is another week where my legs will be up nice, and we'll be enjoying another win. 6-0. On to you next week, son.
That was,
My end ticket on this game is Eddie's gonna just kill Diego. This Najee Harris is just disgusting. He makes me want to like puke. And let's see.
yeah.
It's just that he's not going to score, or am I going to?
I will say, if for some reason Mike Williams has one of his fucking vintage games, he could give you some trouble. But that's not happening against Denver, though. That Denver's got a great defense.
What about the matchups on my team? Are they not even worth looking at, or is it just that Diego's not going to eclipse 100 points?
No, Diego's not going to eclipse 100 points. This game is a wraps.
Nice.
That is also my lock of the week. Very unfortunate to say, but Ed's on a roll and Diego is kind of struggling right now. So, trending downward in my opinion. But yeah, so.
Yeah, he said he age watch, right?
Allen versus KC. I mean, show what Devontae Adams did to that defense last night. So.
Josh Allen might score 50. I mean, if Pittsburgh put up any resemblance of a fight that game, Josh Allen is breaking every passing record that there ever was.
And he's throwing it to Gabe Davis.
And now you have an angry Brady going there. So just trying to get his team together. So.
All right, our final matchup: Uzumaki Clan versus Love Hurts.
This is my.
This is your what?
Hello? I think he said this is lock of the week, right?
And where's his camera, right? Like, what is wrong with him?
No, I just got disconnected.
Oh, shit.
All right, this is it. Go, Joel. Who do you got winning here?
I think Kevin comes down with it.
Any elaboration, or you just think?
I mean, it's not that I don't like Justin's team or his matchups, but I don't know. I just feel like Kevin's due for one, and the main reason is I do think, as stinky as the Bengals have been, I think that we're just waiting for a Jamar Chase game where he looks like himself, and
really.
And then also AJ Brown's coming off of a bad game, and you know the type of guy he is. He's gonna want to fucking come out there and light the world on fire. So
Vision game
barring if he could get 60 points from Jamar Chase and AJ Brown, then I think he has a fair shot to pull off the upset. But he's gonna need them to blow up. And Terry McLaurin has been terribly underwhelming. If he could score a touchdown, then
He's playing a very horrible team this week.
Oh, that's for sure.
I actually have Uzumaki Clan pulling out the win here. This is going to be another close game, kind of tough to pick, but I don't think Kevin's matchups are necessarily the best. Sure, we just saw Geno Smith and DK and company light up the Saints defense in the Superdome. I don't see that happening 2 weeks in a row. The Bengals seem to have been figured out. Like they got no juice. They got no life. If T. Higgins misses, which he very well may, just going to allow the defense to key on Chase even more. Obviously Kevin has a lot invested in the Bengals with his quarterback and wide receiver one. You look at AJ Brown versus that Dallas defense. They're for real up front in the back end. They are a complete defense. I think they will do everything in their power to keep him in check. And then you got Dalvin Cook. I mean, I don't know. Breece Hall did just kind of go crazy against that Dolphins defense, but I, for whatever reason, seem to think the Dolphins have a better defense. I don't know if they're dealing with injuries up front. You would know a lot more than I would in that regard.
I'm not up front, though. We just got ice killed, I guess. I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I mean, Cook, I think you can keep him in check, hopefully under 20. On your end, I mean, Cooper Kupp, who's covering him on Carolina? It could be a 40-point week if the Rams choose, and it's going to be at least a 30-point week. So
It could also come down, if it's a close game, it might come down to if, like, Mike Boone steals a touchdown from Melvin Gordon or something along those lines.
I didn't even realize. That's a great. And I mean, the Chargers' run defense is horrible. It's one of the worst.
Yeah, it's terrible.
One of these guys will score at least one touchdown.
That's the thing. If Connor's good to go, though, I don't know who to start. Like, I don't know who I want to start there.
Melvin Gordon got to be in your lineup regardless. I mean, is Irv Smith the tight end of the future now? Is that who we're going with?
No, I mean, if Pitts is healthy, I don't want to play him.
He's earned
Honestly, Irv
back
said
to your lineup.
better choice.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know. And then you got Hurts and Smitty against Dallas's defense.
It's also another fucking tale of two guys playing for the same team. If one of them gets production and the other one
Both
doesn't,
are bad matchups. This is going to be probably a lower scoring game. I don't know. I mean, does Rashad Bateman come in and score another long touchdown? Maybe, but I think you're going to squeak one out here. Uzumaki.
All right. Anyone else?
A phone.
Beating you actually. I don't know. I just feel like coming off that trade, I don't know. I just like Kevin this week.
I had a free win this week, and then like he just had to make that trade. Like I couldn't get my lick in on Kevin, like on his fucking shit.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it can't be said like enough times. Like Kevin's team was abysmal before this trade. Abysmal, horrible.
But it's still not great. I mean, Mike Boone is your fucking second running back. He's got no tight end. I mean, he's got 2 elite receivers and a good back. That's it. But we'll see what happens this week. Son, any comments?
Honestly, not really. I think Justin's gonna win because that combo of Hurts and Kupp is just every week is scary. And you see what Saquon did against the Packers D. I feel like Breece Hall had his breakout last week, and I think he's gonna have a 20+ game this week, and that's gonna be hard to beat. And Devonta Smith has been playing well, even though guys said he was a bust or some shit like on that.
No, I never said that. I said that I just don't.
That's literally what you said. You literally said.
Oh, as a draft pick, yeah, in real life, like in the league, yeah. But
Smith's been getting 10+ targets, like that's amazing. And
Kevin,
Hurts,
this must be ringing because he just texted me, fuck up, just out of nowhere.
I don't know. Don't see.
yeah, Justin's winning, and that's my thing.
For the record, I want Justin to win. So actually, I'm gonna take back my pick. I want Justin to win. So take it.
I want Justin.
Yeah, no, I can.
All right, well, that was our last matchup here. We're closing on the hour 40-minute mark. Does anybody have any closing remarks before we wrap this up?
I guess Diego, I wish you the best, man.
I
Yeah,
know.
a lot of warm wishes this week.
Yeah. I am praying that I can somehow turn this year around. This is certainly not what I was expecting, and just for the record, I am praying on Ed and Sonny's downfalls. So, I would even want Julian to finish better than these two. So, I just want bad things to happen to their teams, and I hope they just don't do well in the playoffs. But that's
when
just
you say you hope to turn it around, do you just hope that it magically happens, or are you actually going to do anything?
Like if Keenan gets healthy, Herbert, if Brandon Staley stops holding back Herbert because he has the potential to be like the third best quarterback in this league, but that offense, like I've watched their games, their play calling is just like frustrating.
No.
I couldn't even imagine being a fan of them. But yeah, I think I just really hope that you and Sonny just collapse personally. But
Any comment on Pat Fryermuth? Is he the tight end of the future, or
we'll see, man. Maybe Dawson Knox turns it around, but.
okay?
Cool. Anything for the people?
Who, me?
No,
Cut out. I didn't hear you.
Anything you have to say?
anything to say before we head
Yes,
out?
I do actually.
Oh shit!
Team Pierce to the moon.
Okay.
Bye week.
All right. Well, that was another nice content-filled episode here from Itrad 2022 podcast. If you listened all the way through, congratulations to you. We love our viewers. Very few of them, but if you're one of them and you made it all the way through, we appreciate your time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say Kevin still hasn't been on the podcast yet this year. I want to get Kevin on here soon.
He's had his tail tucked between his legs. Maybe he'll come up.
I wouldn't have gone on if his team was still like it was before that trade. But
Yeah, now he's got some more enjoyment to actually have fun this year.
Is anyone happy about that? Is anyone happy that he has enjoyment now? Like
I did. Ed, a hero lives, dude.
that's still your hero?
trade should have been vetoed, man. Just saying it.
No, that's pussy shit. Anyway, yeah. So, good luck to everybody this week except for Kevin. Hope your team sucks this week.
Yeah, fuck Kevin.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, hopefully a week filled with no traumatic brain injuries for anyone this week.
Yeah.
Breaking news: Dalvin Cook and Madison are injured on the exact same play, and they're both out for the season.
All right. Well, with that being said, yeah, we're gonna sign out here. We will see you in another 2 to 3 weeks. So, peace, guys.
I'll be on in 2 weeks.